来ていたのですね。食事はもう済ませたのですか？何ですか？何か聞かれると都合が悪いことでも？
Hey Leute, ich bin Hunter Peace und willkommen wieder zu Raven. Heute machen wir die Story weiter, weil jetzt haben wir endlich früh die Story freigeschaltet. Die weitere Story. Und wir könnten auch hier, und wir haben jetzt endlich hier Zugang zu ein paar weiteren Aktivitäten, die wir machen könnten für das Event. Und zwar haben wir hier Zugang zu dem Kagel-Archive, so können wir Charakter testen. Ich habe das schon ein bisschen gemacht off-stream. Und die Story habe ich jetzt auch schon ein bisschen angefangen, und zwar die erste Story-Cutscene, aber die haben wir eh schon zusammen gesehen. Das war nämlich, kann ich euch nämlich zeigen, das war nämlich die da. Die Cutscene hier, die haben wir schon gesehen. Und ja, ich würde sagen, wir machen mal weiter mit der Story. Schnappen uns mal Black Cards, die wir uns dabei verdienen. Oder uns auch verdient haben. Aber ja. Nun nein, ich würde sagen, dann machen wir mal weiter. Checken wir mal kurz, ob irgendwie schon mal hier was Neues, irgendwie eine neue Challenge drin ist. Ja, hier ist wieder eine neue Challenge, sehr schön. Was haben wir denn hier? Die blaue Constructs, das ist mit Lee und Karen. Oh, mit den Weihnachtsskin. Ist der chinesische Skin, genau. Das machen wir später, weil ich würde mich ehrlich gesagt echt mehr interessieren, was die Story ist und so weiter. Und ich glaube, das bringt uns eh nichts, also das zu machen. Haben wir hier die Dailies gemacht? Ne, haben wir nicht. Zeit, ein bisschen unsere Charakter zu streicheln. Da freust du dich, Kollege. Okay. Sehr schön. So, damit da das jetzt erledigt ist, haben wir das auch. Ja, das ist sehr schön. Sehr gut. Kriegen wir noch mal ein paar Items. Wir haben jetzt übrigens 2800 Black Cards. Ich denke, wir schaffen es heute auf 3000. Mal sehen, ob wir es hinkriegen. Aber ich denke, wir schaffen es. Wir schaffen es definitiv. Das hier ist für Vera. Nein. Lily Brush. Für wen ist das? Ah, es ist für... Bianca, genau, so heißt sie. Ich habe gerade den Namen fast vergessen. Aber ja, nun dann. Ich habe auch übrigens die Memory Rescue gemacht. Das hat mir sehr viele Black Cards gegeben. Es ist nice, dass man so lange Zeit hat übrigens dafür. 111 Tage. Nice. Das ist mega gut. Und wie gesagt, auf Luna tun wir dann eventuell, wenn wir genug Puls haben, nächste Woche Pullen. Je nachdem, wie es aussieht. Habe ich irgendwie Zugang auf Warzone? Ne, habe ich schon gemacht heute, okay. Das könnte nämlich... Was ist mit Phantom Pancake? Hab ich, glaube ich, schon heute auch gemacht. Ja, Changes Today, 4 von 4. Und ich weiß auch nicht, ob wir noch für diese Woche überhaupt noch Phantom Pancake machen müssen. Nein, müssen wir nicht. Okay, sehr schön. Dann nur noch Warzone. Und die Story. Okay, dann würde ich sagen, legen wir los. Das ist das andere. Das haben wir, glaube ich, schon gehabt. Ja, das hatten wir schon. Gut, dann wollen wir mal. Zone A, Forgotten Streets. Enemies inside. Das haben wir auch schon gehabt. Random Event. Sorry, dass ich gerade nichts vorlese, Leute, aber... Wir gehen mal den Gegnern hier aus dem Weg. Ressourcen sind immer gut. Crimson Tide. Ja, die Cutscene habe ich schon gesehen. Ihr übrigens auch. Ihr wart, wenn ihr beim letzten Stream dabei wart. Wenn nicht, nicht meine Schuld. Ihr werdet nicht alles durchlesen. Sorry, bin etwas faul. Let's go. Ja, wir haben die Story schon gesehen. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Die Musik ist mega gut. Jawohl, Mann. Und das war's für dich. Alter, warum dreht er sich die ganze Zeit so im Kreis? Let's go. Here we go. Und ab geht's. Boost. Und das war's für dich. Bye. Dann machen wir sie fertig. Auf geht's. Boom. Das war einfach. Okay, ja, das ist wir kennen die Szene. Ich glaube, die Szene habe ich noch nicht gesehen, bin mir ziemlich sicher. Under the influence of the spear of FOS, you see two constructs and a human commander appearing in the room. They lean really against the wall and place the holder screens from the terminals in front of them. There were 3 of them? Looks like the other one wasn't here by the end. Relay our guidance to Coco. Have her meet Ida's here. She'll be able to find us anyway. Why don't we just let her figure it out? Quit being stupid. His voice sounds familiar. Where have I heard it before? Commander ignores the biker and continues organizing the data, seemingly long familiar with the squabble. Let's organize the data we've collected. We prepare to head out or once Coco returns. Stern construct brows and nods. Then begins opening up the mess of data on his auto screen. Blood-like liquid roller and iris guard nearby. It's showing signs of the punishing virus evolving biologically. The last recon investigating it is still missing. Maybe they've been absorbed into it. Punishing virus? Evolving? And another squad is missing. Absorbed into it? The information from this one sentence is enough to fill the four of you with the same dismay as three people in the projection. Assembled the liquid just a few days ago, but it's now 3 times the size. You can cover an entire block now when it gushes out of the ground. Gushes? Does it still recite like the tide? I think calling it a fountain is a bit more accurate. They may have been true a few days ago, but now it's turning into a tide? It takes longer and causes larger cracks onto the surface, but it still recedes into the ground. You must inform Babylonia of this news. The volume punishing virus is bad omen, not to mention that it keeps expanding. So the red tire was originally hiding underground. No wonder it's gone undetected by Babylonia. He had already uncovered so much. If you had only returned safely, it's not too late. We found it too. Good thing we've reported it. I thought my server equipment was malfunctioning. You've always been able to count on your live. You should have more faith in yourself. However, if a team had already gone missing here, the following team sent here should have been far more equipped. And if that team also went missing. Sickness unstable here. We have to wait until we are back to Babylonia. Do you know how it's expanding? It's unclear, but I'm sure it has something to do with the dissolved remains. The main construct roller roses the sand to cover up a haphazard yawn. Dissolved. That's right. As it says that's right. The project freeze in place is buffering. Signals being jammed here. We need to return to Babylonia ASAP. When he projects and resumes, the two at the tail stand up and prepare to leave the commandant's order. However, Browry Shire stands in the doorway, suddenly shouting at them with a lightning fast flash. Coco, you! He opens his eyes wide as he looks at the dark face before him, then falls to the ground limp. Huh? After losing their commander, the other two constructors attempt to fight the dark figure, but their efforts are in vain. Did that constructor Coco betray them? Looks like his squads did exactly work well together. Now I think something is wrong with the recording. I mean, when it was buffering for a moment? Yeah, but we can't prove anything without looking for more clues. Want to keep searching, Commandant? Just in case. Alright, let's keep looking. Before we start looking for clues, let's turn this report in. We will compile a brief document on the previous team fatalities. Signal still unstable, we reconnect and try again. Liv nods in agreement, then joins the rest of you to explore the place. Some of the spots seem to be less dusty. Could this be footprints they left behind? That's likely. Can we see where they lead to? Let me use the spear of FOS. I tried looking at them when we were talking, but I didn't get a match. They were probably the first people to have been here. Let me think about it. Let's go. I'll have you clear the debris from the Pompal and find 2 keycards, stained with vital fluid under the slab. These keycards probably belong to the hotel. Did they leave these behind? That's possible. Seeing that they are stained with vital fluid, let's take a look around to see where these keycards can be used. Mal sehen, wo uns diese Keycards hinführen. Past the hidden door. With one of the cards, you open the door to the hotel's corridor outside, where the floor is shaky and littered with fallen objects. Be careful, the red tie is just right under. Most of the door are blocked by objects that have fallen. It takes us forever to remove them. And the floor probably wouldn't hold if we all go together to clean them up. Which room is it? Hey, what's your thought? Let me think about it. Liv looks at the prior on the keycard and starts thinking. We've got all the clues we need. Let's restore the record when we are back in the safe zone, Commandant. Data chip. Deserted ruins. After removing the mini storage terminal from the square auxiliary device, the security terminal connected to the spear of FOS, as gently vibrates. New recording found. Update the currently generated projection. Update. Receiving the order, the spear of efforts begins regenerating the projection. Broadcast the updated segment. The update data is available nearby. Please proceed to the location to view the updated segment. Indicate a flash projecting virtual path leading to the employee launch. Looks like Liv was right. That's right where the error was. That's right. After finishing its line, it's time the source swings open and the small girl runs in from the outside. A mechanical log floats around her, sending an auxiliary device to nuke to her. Boko's back. Let's get ready to go. Listen, I made a big discovery. What is it? I've discovered that the red tide returns to the consciousness of the dead and can speak. What? I found a missing command in the red blood. The four of you, as well as the three dragons, all look surprised. She kept calling my name and asking if I had seen her sister. It doesn't make any sense. What do you think it is? The river sticks of Hades? I didn't think you would go on all this time because you were out daydreaming. The teeth was covered trembled slightly with anger. She stopped smiling, bites her lip. Command realized the rude behavior and size, motioning Coco to continue. Not only did I find out about the missing command, I uncovered two other commonalities after I went asking around the other scavengers. Coco maintains a polite smile, but her voice has a solemn undertone. First off, the voices they've heard also come from those who died in the red tide, which is different from the river Styx. It's not like you can hear everyone who has ever died. Command nods, relaxes a bit, and swipes the screen with her fingertip to show a video to the other three. I'm not sure if the red liver has to be the direct cause of the death or if it applies to all those that get swallowed up after death. I didn't see how the commandant died. I just found some of the things she left behind near the tide. Even though I could hear her, I could only distinguish a few vague sentences. It's impossible to judge whether the red liquid returns her consciousness or is just imitating her. The second thing is, the scavenger says they could hear her voice too. In other words, this is a phenomenon that anyone can observe. It's not like other paranormal folklore. But her voice only appeared when I got close to the tide. Kind of like how no one would greet a stranger in a distant crowd. What do you mean? I would, if they're good at looking. Well then, let it kill you so we can see for ourselves. Hearing this, Rora drops his spine and looks down at the ground. With that, the room falls silent. Alright, let's prepare to leave. Four of them at the paper began to pack their bags and prepare to go. Rora's voice does sound familiar. Where have we had it before? The four of you try to recall a source of familiarity. Oh, I remember! In the hall back there. Hä? Welche Halle? Help! Who's there? Help me! Oh, warte, das war er? You're right, that's definitely his voice. How can this be? Did he end up dying in the red tide? Based on the clues we just obtained, I'd be willing to bet. With the red tide as big as it is now, there's sure to be a lot more remains in it. But why were there so many people incorrupt and stationed in this area? Maybe they weren't stationed here but gathered here. Gathered here? You mean the red tide lured them here? Lured? Like the piper? Piper? Yeah, it's nothing. Just an old children's story. What's about? Just as Liv is about to descend, the four of you hear the sound of a door collapsing. New projection emerges in the darkness. Somehow her figure is blurry, but you can still clearly see a mammoth tail. Lamia. Corrupted. Kill her! However, the construct stands little chance against an ascendant. The construct in front is thrown across the room and he stops moving after barely any struggle. Coco, run. Our mission is to report back. Just as the commander gives the order, the ascendant throws the human against the ceiling, and the commander's neck snaps from the impact, quietly falling to the other side of the floor. The remaining two constructs cry out. Without hesitation, they follow their commander's last order and charge out the room in opposite directions. Why do we have to run away in different directions? Can't you make my pursuit easier? She looks at each of them and turns to pursue Roller. The projection follows as Coco runs downstairs with a floating auxiliary device. for hearing Waller screaming nearby. Damn it. We don't stand a chance against this enemy. I must. Cole grabs the auxiliary device and stuffs the secret compartment in the corridor. She moves the keycard and destroys the virgin in the corridor with her weapon in an attempt to delay the ascendant. Right as she stuffs the auxiliary device into the secret compartment, the projection disappears. Unable to see what happens next, you can only hear the record dialogue from the two of them. Missing something? Oh, how did you come out? Oh, wait. How can I corrupt it like you talk? Do I really have to explain everything? Who the hell are you? That doesn't concern you. Since you were missing on the Ascendant's watchful eyes, you can't walk out of here alive. What's an Ascendant? What do you mean by their watchful eyes? Do you create the tide? Quit asking so many questions. I can't answer them all at once. One thing is certain. This is Providence, so we cannot find out yet. With that, you hear the sound of an explosion. Ko screams as the stairs explode. Xana said too much, but it doesn't matter. She's already dead. Lamia sighs and jumps down from the second floor, fading into the distance. How troublesome. I have to chase the other guy who ran away. I'm sure he hasn't gotten far with that injury. You say, under their watchful eyes? If Roxy is here, I wouldn't be surprised if the Ascendant base is nearby. Nay, that may have been why Hux was brought here in the first place. Do you really think they are working together? What are you saying, Commandant? You mean Hux is intentionally leaked the Ascendant's locations? It's possible. And when you comes the indicator flashes. Looks like we finally reached you. Is something wrong? You lost contact for so long, I was starting to get worried. Not to mention, we detected a large red mass heading straight for you. We thought we were going to lose you too. I'm worried sick. Lose us too? Yeah, we already lost contact with a lot of teams due to poor signal or because of that red liquid. Can you tell me what's going on? That way I can tell the other teams to stay clear. A red tide, eh? It's just like you said. Huaxi most likely let Gestalt discover these coordinates. Since the Ascendants want to use the red tide, the base must be nearby. You need to give this target higher priority. What's wrong? Worried that changing your objective will cause issues? No, I also think tracking them should be our priority. Agreed, I will report the new target to the higher ups. Hopefully they dispatch more people. As you know, with the signal as bad as it is here, it's probably going to be sunset when we hear back. Continue with your mission based on what the others have said. Huaxi is most likely at the Ascendant base. Indeed. Do you need help leaving where you are before you continue your investigation? That would be great. Alright, I will stage a ship to get you. Wait, by the hotel window, Lex Cinderella's carriage is waiting for her at midnight. What is the situation with Babylonia? We haven't received any good news. But at least we haven't heard anything worse. Seems like it's still roughly at the same altitude as when you first left. It's rising slowly, but it can accelerate for a while, which means that it's still in danger of being targeted from the surface. How about the others? As you know, most of the crew has descended along with you. Those that remain on board are scrambling to clean up. Regardless, this has been a slap in the face for some people. Some people? Those who got a little too complacent were hiding in Babylonia. As long as matters on our aren't resolved, I won't be surprised if this happens again, and no one can guarantee that we will be so successful next time. Well, we leave what's up here to the higher ups. We've got more pressing matters here. If we don't solve the problem here, Babylonia will still be in danger. On it. Bridges smiles brightly, waves, terminates the call. Guess we need to get to work. Time to get to work, ja, you're right, Glee. Hat definitiv recht. Gut, wir sind raus hier. Long journey. You board a reinforced defense ship and leaves the red tide with the support force help. Anyone with reactive gear and the ship itself has been reinforced by the highly concentrated punishing virus. It still finds its way and causes symptoms of infection in everyone. After receiving first aid, you are looked over the abandoned area. This place seems to have been an office area. For the business area was the same as a business street. It sounds very similar, but they are actually different. I've been here on several rescue missions. The business area has more people and corrupted than a business street. Well, it's like a factory then. I focused so much on fighting I never paid attention to their difference. I mean, they've both been destroyed beyond recognition, so... There's one thing I know about an industrial district. Then a number of corrupt. Exactly. We've reached a fork, the road splits into left and right. Which path are we taking? Liv, any thought? I think we should go left, it feels more peaceful. Where do these paths lead? Well, we now have a rough idea where these paths lead. It's your call, Commandant. It's obvious that the road on the left has fewer corrupted. More of them are growing up on the right. Left or right? Farewell Letter. Ein Abschiedsbrief, okay. Immer kurz weg, Leute. So Leute, da bin ich wieder. Gott, hatte Schock auf. You have traveled for a while without running into any surprise for having also gathered quite a bit of data. Sorry, ich hab Durst. Let's sort out all the key information first. Alright, I've laid all the known information on the instances in the workflow. I can use this database screen for useful intel. It looks like a daunting task. Let's do it. You carefully examine all clues, nothing is omitted. You reconvene after investigating for quite some time. I haven't found anything that matches the keywords. All I see is the corrupt going about their boring routine. Forward live. I didn't find any useful clues matching the keywords, but I came across a letter, a farewell letter rather. A farewell letter? Abschiedsbrief? Okay. Well, a turn farewell letter. It's only the first half of the page. I was able to find it because it contains the word Huaxu. Huaxu? Okay, from Q? Correct, it says, I found a way to fight the punishing virus. I want to use it to create the legendary Huaxu Utopia. But but it has cost all of my possessions and it appears that it will die before its completion. If you are reading this letter, please look for it at the location below. The last part is missing. A method to fight punching virus? It's probably either a ruse or just nonsense. You're right, we can confirm it without the last part, but it shouldn't go unignored. Let's look for the last part of the letter. Right, we keep an eye out. Let's keep going, Commandant. The corrupted upper head are on the left. Path on the right seems to be safer. Left or right? Okay, dann nehmen wir rechts. Voice of the Fanatic. You have traveled for a while without running into any surprise by having also gathered quite a bit of data. Let's sort out all the key information first. Alright, I've laid out all the known information on the sentence and workstone. You can use this database to screen for useful info. Let's do it. Seems like the letter has been read in full already, because I saw two people starting for joy and heading for the location shown on with the coordinates. When was this recorded? The timestamp was too blurry to identify. Seems like it was a long time ago. Even after all this time, there still hasn't been any news on how to control the punching virus. In other words, they may have run into danger, or it may have been complete useless information. Any new clues, Lucia? I saw a large number of scavengers devoured by the red tide. A large number of scavengers? They seemed infrared and willing to be engulfed by the red tide. I only saw this brief moment. I don't have any other information. We keep an eye out. Let's keep going, Commandant. Crop the upper head are on the right. The one on the left seems to be safer. Okay, left. Left. Final clue. Hetero creature. These corrupt babes state to your battery plates. Simply calling them corrupt would be inaccurate. Hey Roland. How about fuck you? This is the last area to investigate. Hope we can find a clue. Something's wrong with this corrupted. Let's knock it out first. Come on, get it off. Nimm das. ganz so
これ
einfach.
が最後の
Let's
戦い
go.
はいいです指揮官
Wo ist Roland? With your combined efforts, you have defeated the last of them. However, among their familiar mechanical bodies, you find some familiar corrupted. What are these things? Looks like the fuse corrupted on a train. Does this have anything to do with the red tide? We still don't have enough intel. Lee, can you use the spear of FOS to restore their memory? I'm trying. I can pick up their data, but it can't be deciphered. Are there any other clues? Once you've watched the final segment, this area will be clear. Let's proceed to the next area. At that point, you on the detector flashes again. Finally, I've reached you. Are you alright? Oh, fuck you, Moray! We are fine. I see Bridges report. We really should provide us tracking their descendants. Is there anything else to report? Get out of here, you are distracting me from my work. Sorry, I'll be leaving shortly. Why are you two together? We lost contact for so long, I was starting to get worried. I noticed you sent a report to Asim through the service channel, so I thought coming to see how it's going. Asim, we collect some new samples. Good, send them to me. We also found some new corrupted. New corrupted? If you don't mind, Liv? Not at all. After receiving the sample data from Liv, Asim furrows eyebrows in contemplation, revealing an expression you have never seen before. He stands up suddenly and runs to the other side of the letter as if searching for something. Then he has the sound of a cup overturning. I've never seen him this flustered. Looks like it's serious. After waiting for a moment, Asim returns to the conference, brows still forward. Are you okay? Ace bodies, they are starting to show biological signs never before seen in the incorrupted. Perhaps you should no longer call them corrupted based on their composition. It would be more appropriate to call them hetero creatures. They are evolving biologically? Correct. However, based on the intel you sent back, there are still a lot of unknowns. But after breaking down on the components of the red tide by our functions, we can determine that it closely resembles the primordial ocean on Earth. So the hetero creatures are born from the red tide. We still can say conclusively, but given our related there, it is highly possible. How large is the red tide now? It can already cover an entire city block. We also use the spear of reverse to uncover records of a missing squad. We've only just sent their discoveries back because of the signal injections. According to them, the red tide was more like a red fountain previously, and it was hiding underground, but in just a short amount of time, it turned into a rising tide that could submerge an entire block. Asimov lowers his head and shifts his glance from the report on hetero creatures to the information on the missing team. This is the rate of expansion. Where it might cover the entire planet? We can't rule out that possibility, but we also can't panic just because it's possible. We must investigate further. Aside from this report, do you have any new information on the red tide? There's only one more thing. Well, tell us. Mari, get the fuck out of here. While investigating, the missing team will also found that the red tide can retain the consciousness of the dead. Yeah, I saw this information in the report. The red tide is imitating that it really does return the consciousness. The situation looks bleak. It means that it can lure invading people into the red tide. Lure people into it? Also, it may be able to use the data it collects from the consciousness to work of its own consciousness to become a real living organism. It's still expanding it, even actively moves to places where corrupt gather to devour them, growing even further. Predatory behavior. However, the corrupted don't completely dissolve, rather they are dismantled in the red tide. They become parts. If the red tide crashes into the humans, they will be hit, maybe even killed by the scraps before they're drowned. Dismantled into part? Is it because they can't be dissolved, or Asimov keeps this improvement speculation himself before throwing out the question? What do you think the red tide will evolve into? Its accelerated spread of the punching virus will continue to expand. Is that all? Is that all? Mary nods. Asimov stops his work and turns to see him smile by his side. I just received a report from another team that was stationed further away. They hadn't had contact with the red tide, but I spoke with scavengers nearby. Recently, a large number of corrupted have been gathering in the ruins, but there have been reports of unused those supplies. However, no one ventured into ruins has ever returned. Who do you think is responsible for this? Could it be the descendants? It's highly likely. The scavengers gave a vague description, but early accounts seem to share some resemblance. Is this fair? Even if Uraxu didn't lead us here, we would have investigated this area due to the rumors as to the sheer number of fields that would have gone missing here. This means they have a trump card in their hand. Once it matures, they will have something as powerful, if not more, than the Ascendants. Matures? They need to keep it a secret in the past, but now they are no longer afraid of people spreading rumors or our squads gone missing. It can only mean that their trump card is almost ready to be deployed. In other words, over the red tide and head to creatures pose a threat, they can't overpower us anytime soon, and yet they still carry out the plan. Which means there must be an even greater threat. I think so too. Now that we have obtained this information, we need to destroy this immature trump card before they can play it. If of course it didn't take you long to figure it out, Lee. I would have come to the same conclusion with this information. We don't have enough intel yet, Commandant Lee. Please report back if you have any new information. Can I leave my lab first? Alright. No problem. I was just here because you looked anxious from all the news on the red side, so I want to acquire with you on the new information as soon as possible. So I didn't mean to disturb you. Fuck off. I appreciate the gesture, but you can sort out the information later and give it to me then. Alright, I'll be going now. Mary nods to us with them waves to the camera. Be careful everyone, especially Yuli, don't get carried away. Got it. Mary smiles and terminates the call, but right after that you see a familiar projection passes by. Wait, is the commander? I think I just saw Roland. He was chasing a boy. Pointing the direction of the projection, leaving you see Roland surveying as usual by talking with a boy. Who is the boy? Before of you look at the boy who stares at Roland angrily and appears slightly injured. Ich habe noch die von Karte. Ja, mach das. mag's nicht, wenn ich streame, dass ich angerufen werde, aber hey, anders geht's ja nicht. Okay, ich denke, das ist Lee oder Lees Bruder Murray. They don't look like they are companions. Perhaps they have distanced themselves from the corrupted at the scene. You only see them just doing in conversation without hearing what they are saying. Suddenly, the boy angrily smashed his fist against the wall, forming a crack in the projected wall. The strength. Looks like the boy is a construct too. The conversation does not appear to be a pleasant one, despite Wallace's discussion, ich glaube, das soll Discussion heißen. Discussion, the boy runs to the end of the series out of sight of the unlooking corrupted. At this point, the projections disappear. Let's go, commandant. Young man's location. You arrive at another fog. It's your call again, Commander. Bitte, boy. There you go. Shall we just check out both of them? I'm afraid we don't have the luxury of time for that. Nee, what's your thought? I don't have enough clues to say much. They look the same. Seems like the boy and Ron both went left, but what is it? I see a projection of the female scavengers there, and I don't know why it's bothering me so much. Plunder and sacrifice. After defeating the corrupt along the way, the four of you finally reach the end of the street. Gather data, then pinpoint Roland and the boy. Acquiring target data. Complete. Generating image from data. Complete. Using his BFFOS to display the projection, you see Roland smiling as usual by grabbing the young construct's neck. Huh? Can't run anymore? There's nowhere else to run. The corruptors swung from behind. You can take them out alone. He grabs the boy's neck to force him to look back. Even though the corrupted projections have been destroyed, the young construct still continues to look toward the other end of the series in anguish and rage. It appears that, while standing there, he must have seen a dire situation with many corrupted blocking their way out. Let me go. You're too weak now. It wouldn't be wise to resist. I don't know what you are talking about. Pressure from his neck suddenly increases. His conscience and voice slowly fade. Hurts, doesn't it? Whether it be humans or constructs, life without ascension is so fragile. Let me go. Oh, why do you still insist on resisting? Let me see the answer in your mind. A red current flows through Ron's arm and the hand that is grabbing the boy's neck surges into his entire body in an instant. As the corruption continues to rise, Ron is able to easily uncover the data within the boy's mind. You... Relax, if you're not careful, I'll tear your mind to pieces. No, don't. I see, you were sold by your mother. Yet another orphan. What? I've seen many others like you, all abandoned. They will be ascended, then saved from the sea of suffering. I don't need saving. It seems that you've been skyped by what you believe is correct. You had that she came here with a skirmish. Is that not why you applied to conduct a mission here? Are you using this as a way to find your family? But your memories of her were from so long ago. Even if you see her now, you might not even recognize her. Mind your own business. Hearing the boy's response, Rowan shows an unsurprising expression of contempt, then throws the boy into the collapsed ruins. Smiling, he slowly walks towards them. What a pity. After becoming a construct, your predecessor who took care of you was rebooted after being seriously injured. She not only lost her memory data, but was also transferred out of here. You are powerless in protecting her. That's why you're lost. Without her, the other members will only belittle you. Isn't that right? The young construct clenches his teeth tightly and struggles as the corruption continues to take hold. You have nothing. However, is it because you have nothing that I can give you everything on behalf of the Ascendants? Why protect a group of people who beat you down? Why bother transporting supplies to people who don't respect you at all? Because you are too weak. If you have the power of an ascendant, no one will dare to look down on you again. Your beloved predecessor wouldn't have forgotten everything when being injured so badly. The power of an ascendant? Yes, becoming an ascendant, your hatred is your greatest gift. If your power is ascended, you can wave the blade of revenge against the people you hate. Can I really? Of course! How will you do that? Just make it they're alive. Rowan grabs the young constructor and gives him coordinates. The system of corruption, I'm afraid. Rowan leans down, whistles something into the boy's ear and pats him on the shoulder. Suddenly, the deadly red current opposite sides significantly. Do as I say. The young constructor stands there looking at the whole map in hesitation. Rowan lazily wakes away from the boy, as if appreciating the surrounding destruction. Suddenly, as a notification sound on his comms. Yes, no problem, I just secured one. Where are you? Looks like I have to help you for my vacancies. No matter. Those that are capable should be left to bear the burden. That's why they send us the Algorythmus lunar come and go. Yet I remain. After terminating the call, Rollins projects smiles eyes and walks away. Next, I guess I should continue looking for seeds. Instead of letting those unreliable ascendant recruits do it. Did he say ascendant recruits? Well, I wrote the recorders a long time ago, and I wrote that it was talking to the ones we are familiar with that tone. But what did he mean by come and go? Thinking about what Ruin said, you shift your gaze back at the boy standing still. I can see a general direction on the solar screen. But it only shows this area. If only he had switched to navigation overview. But the boy does not switch to navigation overview. Instead, he just lowers his hand and walks in the direction indicated on the map. At least you have a general direction. Let's go that way first. I don't know what happened to the boy. Only we could see his record again. Yeah, I'll be looking out too. Are you worried about him? I can't help but pity him. But I also understand that there are constant teams like his. Liv puts her hand on her chest and clutches her fist. In this world, life and death are common sight. But I thought I was used to it. Scott, you're not used to it. Liv, not used to it. Life is precious. That's why people choose to hurt and kill one another just to stay alive. But this only makes matters worse. As Liv said, everyone has witnessed many similar tragedies along the way. In order to live a better life, protect those important to them, or compete for military accolades, people bully the weak, plunder resources, and take lives. They have long reduced qualities like kindness from strength to weakness. However, I still want to believe that there are many other teams with deep bonds like us. Liv's voice is so low that he does not sound convinced. There are teams with deep bonds, but this will bring new problems. Hearing this, Liv lowers her head and said this, like Tifa? Yeah, I had heard that some has wiped their memory in order to prevent something extreme from happening like what happened to Tifa. They wiped their memory? Yeah, they just rid themselves of the torturous memories of fallen comrades. In years of treating the wounded, I've seen a lot of such things. They abandoned their memories in order to live, or to survive. I have to decide what to accept, as difficult to be as they are. That's the price. The price? She looks at her land, lost in contemplation. Back then I was prepared to lose her memories because there were more things I couldn't lose. So this is the price I paid. Yet more things to lose. Lucy raises her head and smiles. Didn't we make a promise? The folk rebellions were still together forever. So I need to run to a battlefield. I need to be by your side. You've changed, Lucia. Yeah. How so? In the past, Lucia was like a sharp blade, willing to pay any price for a mission. Now there's gentleness to her, as if she has found a sheath for her sharp edges. Tell her. The blade belongs in the sheath. For me, the Grey Race and the Commandant have indeed become where I belong. I'm happy to be with you too. The Raven is the one and only home to us all. Our leaders don't say anything, the corners don't rise with a faint smile. Lucia stands next to three of you. Our adjusters are still very similar to Duotus and down from before. Shows a sign of gentleness. As if aware of your silence, Lucia walks over. What is it, Commandant? You seem more gentle than before. That's because this promise is what I want to treasure and protect. That is why I no longer treat myself only as a weapon. Doesn't mean that I will lose my edge. Now that I have something to protect, I will not stop fighting like a sharpened blade and deceive. Don't overwork yourself. It seems that I'm lucky. I did survive, but so did my precious memories. They are safe within my mind. Even though I need to familiarize myself with my memories. It's a very insignificant price compared to leaving you and everyone else, Commander. And Lucia, This fight will come to an end. Yes, I believe you. She smiles bitterly, but her eyes shine with hope and conviction, standing at the base of what appears to be a mountainous feat. She is like a mountaineer, determined to climb the rock path and reach the distant peak. Commander, I believe that this fight will come to an end too. Even when that day comes, the four grey races will always be together. Indeed, I don't ever want to go through the trouble of changing teams. Really? Shut up! Nicely. Hey. Even he snaps at you. The corner of his mouth turns into a faint smile. Let's go. Let's change the course of this fight. Roger, Grave Ravens, let's go. Remaining data. Old photo. Point up, have you seen a projecting female scavenger sitting beside a bonfire? Oh, she's the same scavenger we saw back there just a while ago. Seems like she's been here for quite some time now. When Liv walks up to her, she saw the woman staring at a faded photo. All the scavengers also travel as a group, so they have one another to rely on. Why is she here alone then? Probably has to do with the photo. The woman stares at the picture as her tears reflect in the light of the bonfire. Who is the person in the photo? It's depicted her, judging from the way she's touching the photo, it might be a family member. Could it have to do with the young construct? Can't say for sure, but it's very likely. We should gather more clues. Okay, let's go. Auch für ein bisschen Detektivarbeit. Past and future. No long after pressing onward, a familiar figure appears among the projections in the ruins. Is that the boy we just saw? A boy stands on a lofty ruins, looking out at a destroyed block. It resembles a corrupted with the amount of broken parts on his body. Looks like he failed to become ascended like Roland. Boy stumbles forwards in the ruins. His eyes, once full of anger, are now devoid of any semblance of emotion. Even though it's just a projection, he's still entwined with red current. This must have happened when he returned from that place. But didn't Roland give him an invitation? Why would he let him become corrupted? Because he was still required to make it there alive. Looks like he failed. The young consul continues to wander the desert ruins, occasionally looking at the sky, making some mechanical and meaningless gestures. Suddenly, a female scavenger stops by the ruins. Jet? Wherever the young corruptor hears the name or simply loud noise, he turns around and staggers towards the female scavengers. How could you turn into a... Jimmy's scream takes out a smooth piece of bread from her bag and barely handed it to the boy. Do you hate mommy? But is unable to run now that he is corrupted. But if mommy didn't hand you to the deadless corporation, we would have all starved to death. As she weeps, he becomes more heartbroken, but the boy still does not respond. Instead, he continues to walk slowly toward her. I had some soldiers say that you were on a mission, so I want to see you again. Senga cheered quietly, but how did you turn into this? Whereas Moses cries, the boy hobbles towards Hitler, like a toddler learning to walk. He steps on a loose brick and slides down the ruins. Jet! Jet! The female scavenger hurries to help the boy and hands him a piece of bread. I'm sorry, it's all I have left. You can have it. He opens his mouth like a toy to eat the bread his mother gives him, but then bites off her head in the process. Ah! The woman lets the blood-curdling scream from the pain. It seems that she has not noticed or rather cannot accept that her child has suddenly corrupted. No. Liv was stretched hand forced helplessly by her side. Before if you know that there's nothing you can do that could change what happened. Female scavenger clutches her severed fist and hurriedly gets up to run away. Why do you hate me so much? Mommy just wanted us to survive. I simply choose our best chance of survival. I never meant to abandon you. The woman forced her to grow on from the pain in her severed arm. Too weak to stand, she helplessly watches as her son approaches for each step. Mommy she thrusts his hands right through his mother's chest, causing blood to spurt off her mouth. Stiff rise through the agony to say her last words. Mommy failed you. Wanted to make us a happy family. And faced by his mother's last words, the corrupt boy drags his mother down to the street as she breathes her dying last breaths. Liv remains silent for a moment and raises her head and looks firmly at the three of you. Let's go. The sooner we put an end to the sentence and the red tide, the sooner we can prevent something like this from ever happening again. That's the Liv I know. Right, let's keep going. Machen wir ein Ende dem Ganzen. For the path the boy has taken, eventually crossing the vast but mountainous zone. Roads narrow as you travel further, it's hard to imagine that humans worked at a place so confined during the Golden Age. We haven't come across any clues, but I'm seeing a lot of supply boxes ahead. I wonder if they hold up anything useful. Let's go and have a look. The keycard is very well preserved, seems like it's still usable. You can pass the security door ahead with it. It's amazing how something so ancient still works. Craftsmanship from the old days. These security doors have been repairing themselves, and the security equipment on either side of them are now aggressive because they've been infected by the punching virus. I wonder if the keycard is going to work on the infected door. It's true that these doors can repair themselves, but at the end of the day, they're still just doors. With the punching virus, can possibly change these doors structurally so they will definitely open when you insert the keycard into them. See, so I just need to keep an eye out for security equipment. Einmal wollen wir. A strict keycard. A tiny hope. Blood link. We are almost down searching the area, but we didn't turn up any clues. That's all we can see on the map. Where should we go next? Just when everyone is at a loss, the first researchers catches everyone's attentions. Excuse me, have you seen this person? She pulls out a picture and asks around to scavengers. You damn fancy folks with your fancy jobs. If you're looking for someone, why don't you go ask your damn watchdogs? Sorry, this is personal. I can't ask security for help. Please help me. Hearing this, the scavengers going to the corner takes the phone and glances at it. Oh, this girl. I can give you the scoop, but what's in it for me? The flustered researcher takes out a bag of compressed biscuits from my pocket and hands it to the scavenger. He quickly reads up on the bag as well as them whole. I just saw I got to go that way. Reacher thanks the scavenger and then runs in the direction he was pointing. He smacks his lips and sneers. I didn't see nothing. When I look up the scavenger's Reacher, he must have happened quite a long time ago. And no clues that match the key until here. Shall we take a chance? Finally, researchers projects and you all arrive at a dark alley. You haven't searched this area yet. The entrance is well hidden, looks intentional. See if there are any records here. After putting the keys into the sphere of FOS, the Reacher reappears in front of you. He rests on the alley for long before embracing a construct and cries, "Sister!" She wonder even though he just pointed in a random direction, was it because he kept narrowing a search? Family members share a certain bond. It's not that strange. Growing up with someone makes it easier to predict where they'll go. After all, you're familiar with the habit and how they think. Really, I don't have any practical experience in this matter. When I have any siblings live, I have brothers and sisters, but we are not related by blood. If we did, maybe it would have been better. Blood? At that moment, the construct's researchers arm turns and give a look of surprise. Who are? Oh, you're Leodrin's little sister, Angel, right? Oh, wrong person. It's you. How do you know she's here? Where is she? Why haven't I heard from her for so long? I located pinpoints here in this area, so it's the only reason I found this place. Didn't Arian tell you she was wounded in battle and switched bodies in order to recover? I saw her go out this morning. Maybe she was on a mission. Does she still remember me? I don't think her memory data was damaged. She said hi to me last night. If you don't feel at ease, just wait for her here. I need to get going. I'm still on a mission. Wes goodbye and leaves. Angel breathes a sigh of relief, sinks to the ground. Angel she's worried about her sister, and as the researcher the fact that her sister is a construct, she must have her own reasons. Angel stands up and pats her dirt off her knees. Just as she is about to work to a nearby bench, her comes rings. Message. Sister? She opens the message in a hurry. Before you unlock a step, before and look carefully at the words on the screen. Sorry, I haven't been in touch with you for so long, Angel. I was wounded in battle a few days ago when I was at the rescue camp. I saw him winged mechanical angel. He told me about the power known as the Ascension Network. If he had winged, we are both researchers, but when we ran out of test subjects, he used me instead. Since then, I haven't been able to continue with my research. But now I've been presented an opportunity to research a punishing virus, so I've accepted his invitation. Farewell, Angel. I hope we see each other again in this life. After reading the message, Angel staggers backwards a few steps and falls to the ground again. The Ascension Network? Even though she does not know what she is talking about, she can still sense the danger. Sister, I will find you. I will. Angel stands ignoring the thoughts on her body, turns back and deals the number on her contacts. It's me, Angel. Expressing permission to locate Leodrin. Permission denied, Angel. How many times have I told you? Quit getting involved with your sister. You will only hinder in battle. I know it was against your wishes for becoming constructs, but think about your future career. You know what unemployment looks like. Then I won't beat around the bush. She's gone AWOL. Do you know where she is now? What? Do you have any proof? Try contacting her. Alright, wait a minute. Shortly after her comes ring again. I can't reach her. I don't know what happened, but I'm going to dispatch a team to help you look for her. For your sake, I hope she comes back to her sense. After all, your sister is quite a accomplished soldier. He put her talents in high regard. Long after terminating the call, 3 constructs arrived by car. The car's navigation system clearly displays the coordinates of their destination. Angel enters the car and proceeds en route to the destination, quickly disappearing out of sight. Finally, we found a clue. Looks like they went here. Let's get going, Commandant. On it. Why do you think she'll be able to find her sister? It is really still Sanders sequence. I'm afraid this doesn't look good. Liv clenches her hands and gives a look of sadness. Blood is complicated. When it grew up together, it brings you closer to one another, but in times like this, it also pushes you to the abyss. Blood? This is the second time Lucia says this word. Is she still thinking about what happened to her sister, Luna? Lucia, I'm here, Commandant. Are you thinking about your sister? Yes. I don't understand why did Luna become an ascendant. As that she was disposed of after failing to become a construct. Did something happen? Why is she with another me? If she is me, why did you choose to become an ascendant? Maybe she went through something that you didn't. You mean, same person with different experiences, make different choices, different experiences? If they could do again, if they could live in a gentle environment, they wouldn't chosen this path, would they? Your choice is proof of that. If only I could know what she went through, I might be able to understand why she made this choice. But Lucia looks up and starts to stand towards the distant sky. The sun hiding behind the clouds struggles to shine a ray of light between her fingers. If I find out from my memories that all of this is a lie and that my purse belongs somewhere else, will I become someone like her? You won't. Are you sure, Commandant? I believe in you. Hearing this, he places her outstretched hand on her hand. His smile shows signs of doubt and bitterness. She and I are the same person. I wouldn't be surprised if we make the same decision. Do you really believe in me? Yes, I'm sure she would make the same decisions as you. You mean, if she had the same experiences I have, she would have be standing here as a member of the Grey Ravens? We have information that's a little essential of her words. Sorry, ich weiß nicht, wie man das ausspricht. Confusion of the unknown, the fear of loss, the possibility of fighting after and uncovering the truth. All these worries cloud her heart, much like the sun above. Whatever happens in the end, I will respect your decision, Lucia. Thank you, Commandant. Lucia nods. Over the worries in her eyes remain. Her smile widens faintly. He turns and leads the rest of you to the target location. Her pace continues to be firm and convincing. Like a raven aimed at its target, she spreads her wings and soars into the clouds-covered sky. Leave. Okay, let's the area. Here we go. You plan a route from ancient sluice and enter a chemical plant under lockdown. This chemical plant is huge, but there isn't a path we can go through. Should we just climb over then? Probably not a good idea to climb over the fence with all the contaminated wastes around. Contaminated wastes? Rumor has it that somebody tried to simulate operation of the plant a few decades ago for power. But they ended up causing an accident because they didn't have the technology to be. These contaminated wastes were left there and contaminated the land. It's been closed ever since. It's going to be hard for us to travel through this place. The contamination is going to have a detrimental effect on Commander if we keep going. There's a security room ahead. Let's go and see what we can find here. This keycard is very well preserved. Seems like it's still usable. Seems like someone was here not so long ago. Did they leave this keycard here? Thank you, nice person. There has to be protective gear around if scavengers can hang around here. Let's look for them. Continue forward. The four of you fought the plant through out of the ruins and ran into an area interspersed with abandoned factories. I already know the general situation. I contact you again if there are any new developments. The signal is unstable. Is the sickness unstable? We may be hard to research. The signal is unstable. There's no need to worry. There's some acquaintances anyway. They know my brother. What is this Vera? If anything happens, they can let ahead at a moment's notice. As for you, Commandant, you have no problem as long as you follow my brother. Acquaintances? You know people that can enter a dead zone? A lot of people went in with the main force this time. What's weird about knowing a few of them? Exploring the ruins takes a lot of stamina with all the heavy protective equipment and safety terminals. That's why commandants can't operate around dead zones for too long. Yeah, make sure the commander gets some rest. There's bound to be trouble. The commander needs to be at peak performance to make sure nothing bad happens. Morris smiles, says goodbye to the four of you, and then terminates the call. We've been fighting for quite some time now. You should rest up, Commandant. We don't have time. Commandant. Liv looks sad, but she does not say anything, so you continue onward. With one afternoon sun at your backs, he remains left behind by the red tide amidst the same peculiar gaze surrounding you on all sides. Towering buildings nearby from the concrete forest, reaching into the low clouds limiting their visibility. In the shadow of the abandoned factory there's a pile of crates of varying sizes, most of which show signs of being rummaged through. I wonder if those crates contain any clues. As she keeps moving, Liz examines the crate stacked on the side on the road. This area has already been picked and cleaned by scavengers. I doubt there's anything of value here. Scavengers rummage for supplies, but clues will be left in their tracks. Yeah, what is this? Liv runs up to the crates beside her and returns with a book. The book appears to have been hidden in the crates and its pages were specifically preserved. Even then, the book has deteriorated over time. Seems like the pages were ripped out with a little effort. It's a book, the predecessor to an e-book. I've heard that people in the Golden Age would restore e-books into physical copies that were sold for nostalgia or collection. Looks like it's one of those physical books. So four of you continue on with book in hand. While Lucia continues to look around, she glances at the book in Liv's hand, seemingly interested. What's in that book? Is it a clue? Carefully, Liv opens the faded cover and a white pastel falls out of her. It's a pear blossom? It's been flattened. I don't know if it's real or not. She carefully puts the petal back and reads the title of the book. Cartman Rider Genesis. Liv quickly skims through it and conveys the story of the rest of you. Based on the description, the story is about the fate of a young man who uses the power of cars to shapeshift, to save the Earth from aliens with the help of his companions. By the look of the content, there's nothing that can be used as a clue. At least it was an interesting read. Ja, hat unsere Zeit verschwendet. I feel that it's great to be able to trust and fight side by side with your companions. Not just in the story, but in real life as well. Same here, I'm really glad to have met you all. If nods and carefully turns the book into the last page. On the inside of the back cover, she sees a beautifully written note. Earth has been stung with innumerable disasters and time has washed every one of them away. Live for tomorrow because all will pass. To Shrek. Any disasters will eventually subside, so we must keep fighting. We maintain hope as we wait for a better tomorrow. Ganz leicht. Liv silently recites the note as she rubs the white lining of the page with her fingertips. Suddenly, as if she noticed something, she holds the book in front of her, carefully confirms her suspicions. Hey, looks like something has been covered up with repair glue. She puts the book up to the sunlight, trying to see what is under the glue. Anything? Lucia leans over to Liv, since a little and sees a line written in messy handwriting under the page. Don't scribble those lines on a book for me. Who the heck is they believes in hope on this forsaken planet? So it doesn't look like a clue. Liv makes an apologetic face and places the pedal back onto the book. The scary just came across it anyway. The knight don't be a clue, but seems like it was cherished by its owner. Mind if I put it back? Go ahead, it's not that far back. With nods and then quickly runs back to where she found it. I'm back. Alright, let's go. Hopefully we can find some leads along the way. After all, we are likely to encounter assassins up ahead. Be nice to have some more intel. You're right, Commandant. When you were up against the ascendants, your other free look our agency as if not wanting to recall it as so-called vacation. Next, I still plan on cashing in on retirement. Save that sort of talk when you return safely to Babylonia. The four of you fall into an awkward silence. I'm not sure this counts as a clue, but it looks around to the surrounding areas, lost in contemplation. Where is it? I've been here before. Really? You've been here before too? You too, Lee? I recall passing through on a story mission, but that was when I was still with Kurono. Oh, it's been a while for me too. What happened? It was before I was a construct. Back when I was a medic, I was ordered to come rescue people here. It points to the southeast. Over there, but I'm sure it's already completely destroyed. At the time, our regulation forces were overwhelmed by corrupted. Most of the soldiers were ordered to evacuate. But that would have led to even more casualties. I stayed behind to heal the wounded until the constructs arrived. But I feel like this place has left quite an impression. Has it? It really has, and it was because of that incident that I became a construct. That has allowed me to help more people like what I'm doing now. Because I helped everyone, I was able to join the rates and be with you all. I'm surprised Lee came here on a mission as well. What about you, Lucia? Have you been here before? If that's the case, then I think fate has brought us together. When asked this question, Lucy lets out an awkward expression. This place seems familiar, but I can't recall why. When we lose some of your memories when you change frames? Back then? No, I already checked Lucia's mind didn't. Lucia's mind didn't suffer any memory loss, and her memory data was stable. Lucia didn't lose any of her memories when she was transferred into the plume frame. Maybe it's just deja vu? Deja vu? You probably have been somewhere similar, that's why you think it looks familiar. I don't have any memories from a place like this. Maybe you lost some memories before you transfer into the plume frame? Think now it's time to tell her? Thinking over this issue, Lucia opens her mouth hesitantly. Well, now I think about it, some of my memories are a bit hazy and abnormal. That was of the former graves before I met you all. He sighs softly, unsure of how to continue. Tell Lucia about what happened, ask him to say before you all left. Meaning they have hidden a memory from me? And I can authorize you to access the memory. Lucia also had in contemplation for a moment. I trust your decision, Commander, but we should prioritize the mission. Time is of the essence. Also, I still have some things I need to confirm. It's fine, Lucia. Don't worry about whether or not you've been here with others before knowing the commandant. From now on, the four of us will be on missions together. Alright, thanks. I'm not worried about this, but you're right. No matter what happens in the future, the Ravens will always be together. Oh je, ich glaube, ich weiß, was hier gleich passiert. Full of prawns. Working along this designated route, the four of you walk cautiously among the depleted ruins. This place is completely different than what I remember. How long has it been? Really, for me this place feels more familiar, but I can't remember why. Maybe you came here too, Lucia. Maybe even more recently than me. Does this have anything to do with my suppressed memory? Lucia lowers her head as you contemplate the problem. Watch out! Liv stops her right as she is about to step on a loose stone tile. It looks like there's still traps here. Lee briefly steps on the round stone tile, causing the broken tile to fall into a pit. Looking down into the pit, you see the bottom is covered with red spikes. If someone had stepped in that, they would have fallen onto the spikes. There's nowhere around the collapsed road. Let's find some materials to build a makeshift bridge. Sorry, I was being careless. Looks like there's still traps all over the road. You need to be careful. You're right, but be on the lookout for supplies you can use to get around the traps. Let's go, Commandant. Countless supply boxes are standing in the way. Why are there so many supply boxes here? Most of them are empty but very heavy. The walls in the plan are really hard too. We are probably going to draw the corrupted away if we are too loud. We just clear these supply boxes out of the way first. If we just might come across some supplies. Okay, erledigen wir den Job. Bin gespannt, was die Reaktion von Lucia ist, auch wieder wegen ihren Erinnerungen. We can pass if we cling to the wall. The supply boxes at the top are still very dangerous. Well, they don't touch them. Be careful, Commander. Do you need to hold onto my hand? Of course. You're going to live with your left and try to carefully pass through the place. Suit enhancement set. Red crack. My chest breaks to the ground, but the red tile is filling in it. It can devour you the moment you step into it. The red tile has a high level of concentration of the punishments around it. We need to figure out a way to get past it quickly. I try to find some planks. We can try to tie some of the empty supply boxes together and walk on them. Anyhow, we need to leave here as soon as we can. What is it, Commandant? There's a shadow in the red tide. Shadow, did you see a projection? I think so. And it looks like Rawler. Is it the same person who was calling for help? He does say hi to people he doesn't know. Go to the left, let's go and have a look. You're right, let's go. Protective equipment. Deja vu. You are now approaching the chemical plant exit. Lucy is looking around, seems absent-minded. Lucy, are you okay? I'm sorry, this place seems very familiar, but I just don't remember it. Let's look for clues here. It's my personal issue. I can't make the rest of the team do this. May also lead us to clues about the Ascendants. Well, if you say so. Luna? Let's check it out. Lucia. We were here. Oh no! You input the data on the Ascendants into SPF versus this time during the projections of Alpha and Luna. What is it doing here? We are approaching the Ascendant base. It's not that surprising to see their projections. Next up probably won't be their projections but the real deal. Let's go check it out. Who knows, you might be able to collect intel. The four of you quickly approached the projections of Luna and Alpha. Had you not known who they are, you would have assumed they were two ordinary sisters going for a walk. You're finally by my side, sis. She smiled at the awesome projection, but the letters remained silent. Do you want to know why I became an Ascendant? I do. In the beginning I just wanted to live. But in order to see you again, in order to survive, something changed. They only saw me as a threat that needed to be destroyed. Once I was labeled a threat, it wasn't so easy. It came at a cost. Wasn't that the same for you, sis? Hearing this question, Alpha stares at the palm of her head in disgust, then clenches her fist as if to crush something. Lucia frequently makes this gesture, but she is far more gentle, as if to hold on to something precious. Do you want to go back? I would still have some foolish hope. Had that never happened. What happened? This is where they... Was haben sie Lucia angetan? From expression of disgust, Alpha reaches out to the distant sun. This resembles the same action Lucia did before, but it's fundamentally different. I'm willing to recall the dimensions. She throws the eyebrows and disappears into the distance with Luna's projection. The four of you follow them for a short distance until you see a projection of Lucia. Leute is among them. That really did happen here before, just like everyone else. Time war have reached this area, dealing irreparable damage to the land. However, a sense of familiarity still remains to give the three of them a sense of nostalgia. If this was where my suppressed memory took place, want to have a look? I would still have some foolish hope that had never happened. Recalling Alpha's words, Lucia sighed for a moment. I'm really grateful to be with everyone. Even with this great feeling according to the other me comes from my ignorance of the truth. But now, no matter what I was born to do, I'm sure your conviction and intelligence will steer me once again in the right direction. Yes, I'm sure of it. She reaffirmed herself quietly. Before the gap in my memory was a member of the previous Grey Raven team. It was before the three of you were a part of the Grey Ravens. Even without Luna by my side, I was still committed to fighting for Babylonia. We were humans and my friend, just like I'm now. But something happened during that gap in my memory, causing Alpha to walk down the path she's on. That's why I can't give you my promise. I can't imagine what will happen after I remember. But Lucy I know doesn't like to run away, yes. Also I told you, No matter what happens, I respect your decision. Commanded. She looks up, her smile returned. Then let's get going. Let's go see what happened to me. Das wird interessant. Ich glaube, ich weiß, welcher Boss hier nämlich gleich kommt. Und ich habe extremst keinen Bock auf den. Oh, es ist er. Rest have been drawn off. We've just got this right. Head left, right. Affirmative. Take down the right pillar before hero comes back. And sweep and clear all corrupted elements. 5x5. Let's go, Mural. Go right, I go left. Let's go. Let's go. God, what an naughty thing. Hey, we didn't finish it off, Lucia. We could move holding it here. The enemy can easily target us. Lucia, strike the final blow. Understood. Hold up, Bo. How is this thing still moving? Must be the punch memories. Records indicate that the device has repaired its source before. Which also means that our attacks are working. Keep up the good work. I'll send you to your end. Who's there? My input device, damn it, Rise going to break free. Be careful, facing right alone. You see, all I remember was the electronic shackle on right and had somewhat disappeared. I didn't know I was the only one left, but that's okay, I will take it by myself, just like what I did last time. No, Lucia, you have us now. I'll maximize the efficiency if you fight alone where there are teammates around. Thank you. And I have to fight alone anymore. Nothing can break Grey Raven apart. Here we go. Ich hasse Ride. Das ist so ein Hassboss mir. Let's go. Das war's. Shattered fragments. The right in front of you lets out a ranged range rod and turns into remains like before. It's normal for command to not respond to Mulk soon we are pulling out. I remember saying that before, but projections then fill blanks in Lucia's memory. Lucia, go. I'm worried the commander is also in danger. After all, we only just escaped. How could I leave you here? She goes to Mulk soon, trying her best to carry one of them first. At that moment, as a long disconnect former commander finally connects her. Lucia. He gasped for air as if he had just been through all this battle. Commander Mulk soon are seriously wounded. I need support. You can't. I know it's cruel to say this, but I leave them there. We've been ambushed. Wait over here and provide backup. We can abandon our comrades. Don't worry about us. Soon I can transfer our memories. We see you again in no time. May transfer, but the technology is still... Don't worry, we might lose some memories, but we'll be fine. Kun forces his mind and will repain. Lucia, get back here, ASAP. We don't have much time. Lucia projects and grits her teeth, showing a sign of reluctance as she leaves her fallen comrade. Don't look so dismal. See each other in our new frames. Okay, don't break your promise. Two of them on the ground started to give her a thumbs up, watching Lucia leave. If you keep laying here, we become corrupt, won't we? Maybe transfer next time. Hold on a little longer. Pending the projections fade over time, finally disappearing where they lie. Also das ist also passiert. Remember anything? Lucia checks that even though she saw her projections, she still cannot recall any relevant memory data in her mind. But seeing them there confirms what Commandant said about the incident. It truly did happen here. Hassan said, Now that her frame contains data from Alpha, maybe it's time she has her full memories back. Nicola will feel part of it at first out of concern. He believed doing so would benefit our but that only solves our immediate problem. The longer it's held back, the easier Lucia gets lost in confusion, illusion and doubt. I believe her bond with the graves and can keep her from crossing that line. I set an access key to your terminal. It will allow you to use this BFFS to access Lucia's deep mind. It's where alpha memories are locked. You should know what that means. It's up to you to decide when to use it. Now that Lucia has accepted the first half of his memory, maybe you can give her permission now. Lucia, you... Just as you press it, you receive an emergency notification on your comms. Any issues? Nothing so far. I noticed that you've been in the same location for a while. I was worried you were in danger. You're just having a rest. Right, but time to off the asses, the return is incoming. Evacuate the premises immediately. Bridget should be nearby. She should be able to give you a ride. Tell her next time. After receiving this information, I'll further you terminate the call. We'll be able to proceed to the destination entrance. Was für eine Scheiße! Look, something is written on the wall. Following where Leif is pointing at, you find a neatly written slogan on the wall of an abandoned building. Earth has been stricken with numerous disasters and time has washed away one of them away. Live for tomorrow because all will pass. How very inspiring. Looks kind of new as well. One of the scavengers have written this. You don't usually see scavengers being so optimistic. True, which reminds me, I think I read something similar in that book before. I mean, that Cartman Riot Genesis book? The handwriting does look kind of similar. Might be written by the same person. But the words below the slogan look like they are written by someone else. As he written of course can be seen below the slogan. There seems to be something else after these two words, but they have been roughly scrubbed off. It really is the owner of the book. Should we check the projections? Sure. It's not every day you run into optimistic people. Merriman scrubbed off the words showing severe symptoms of infection. Let's hope that he carried enough serum to treat himself. Unknown heaven. Some years ago, never mind how long precisely, a certain rumor has spread out among the scavengers. They say that there are plenty of resources in those abandoned ruins. Apparently some organization brought them there to rebuild the ruins. By the way, attacking, the rebuilding plans were cancelled, and resources were left there. If you were to ask the scavengers where the rumor came from, you would receive nothing but vague answers. I don't know, I told you out of goodwill. If you don't want to go, I go myself. Perhaps you might receive an even worse answer. A winged mechanic angel told me. Princess Bella should be just as insult. How many times do I have to tell you? Just call me Bella, don't use what you learned from your manga on me. They don't say it like that in those books anyway. Perhaps you should read more books, Bella-chan. Yikes, give me a break. It's hard to tell if it's true, but resources are depleted around here anyway. You still have some food reserve, you might as well check it out. Then we'll make the preparations if we run into any danger. I'll protect you like a Kamen Rider, Bella-chun. Slime, if you call me anything like that again, I rip all the books in your backpack. Whatever you say, you're doing what you hate the most yourself. My name is Shrek, plus the rotten chicken and soup book in your hand should be ripped apart first. This is faith. The harsher the environment, the more important it is to believe in hope. As long as you have strong heart, there's nothing we can overcome. It's a placebo, Bella dear. Ain't what he called her, Bella lets out scream vessels with Shrek. The scavengers near burst enviously. Oh nice, they must have a full belly to be able to wrestle. He's not wrong, Bella and Shrek are good fighters. Together they have taken out several monster bases, plundered their food reserves and made a killing by selling the loot. If it went off for this obsession with books, they would have probably have saved up more supplies, would have ventured out to the remote ruins. My book. Shrek tweets painfully. A page of his precious book is torn. Damn it, I should have traded the supplies for a terminal instead. This entire paper is such a nuisance. Terminal, can you even afford using it? We still have a ton of food left if it was for the books. Anyway, let's just go to the ruins. It will be dinner time soon if we keep dilly-dallying. Schweck mournfully holds the torn book in his arms and drags his feet behind better towards the ruins. After a tedious trek, to finally arrive at the ruins, but what they see gives them goosebumps. What in the world is this? Spray squares are crying on the streets, or bright red fluid gushes out of the ground, swallows them quickly. It seems that even the plant is crying bloody tears. Bear ignores Shrek's poetic comment. She grabs hold of his scabbers and waves biscuit in front of him. Those with the red stuff. They say it's heaven. Heaven? No, they say if you jump in you have eternal life. You can even come out of it and talk. Is that the river Styx? I have many trips in there, so I only see other people, friends come out of it. Bear exchanges silent glances. Sky may be screwy, but it looks like he's telling the truth. The recent newcomers have all jumped in. I'm kind of timid, but still debating what to do. Byron has been saying that since we are starting missile already, we might as well give this unknown heaven a try. And you know what? Everyone that jumped in said it was great when they came out. Scavengers takes the biscuit from Bella and gives him a bow. Thank you. There are a few griffins around here. Try to stay away from them. Should we bring them to justice and replenish our supplies in the process? Good idea. We should figure out what they're capable of first. Those around our area are running low. We have to restock before we can travel further. I do as you wish, Bella laugh. Man, Bella holds in her anger and opens the nostalgic chicken soup for the Soul magazine, brings the read through. Alright, let's roll. Okay, ich glaube, wir sind hier fertig, Leute. Okay, das war ehrlich gesagt eine interessante Story, aber es ist so wie es alle ehrlich gesagt so ein bisschen Filler-Content tut, so die Story von Lucia nochmal aufbringen. Interesting.
上司である私の能力
Aber hey, wie auch immer. Nun denn, ich würde sagen, wir machen hier mal ein bisschen weiter. Multi-Challenge. Let's go.
指示をお願いします。この一撃で。ご命令を。この一撃で。私も行きます。
So, und das war's für dich. Let's go. Das wird Nummer 2 und Nummer 3. Let's go.
私の刃になってください。これが最後の戦いだといいですね。指揮官。
So, unser letztes. Jetzt haben wir 2910, sehr schön. Hey Leute, nun dann, meine Meinung über die Story. Im Großen und Ganzen, die Story tut sich sehr langsam aufbauen und ich bin froh darüber, weil ich bin mir ziemlich sicher, ab ungefähr hier geht die Party richtig ab. Und ich bin gespannt drauf, wie es dann ausgeht. Und danach gehen wir wahrscheinlich zu diesem Boss. Aus diesem neuen Boss über und können dann wahrscheinlich Luna endlich spielen. Aber ich bin echt gespannt, wie es weitergeht mit der Story. Aber wahrscheinlich wie soll ich sagen, es wird wahrscheinlich sehr offensichtlich sein, was passiert. Aber ja, nun dann, Leute, wir tun uns bei den neuen Trailer anschauen von Wuthering Waves und dazu will ich meine Meinung sagen. Bin gleich wieder da. Klar, Moment. Ich bin gleich wieder da, Leute. So, hier habt ihr wieder euer Bild. Ich bin gleich wieder bei euch. Da bin ich wieder, Leute. Okay. Also. Wollen wir sehen, wie der Trailer aussieht im Wuthering Waves. Das ist, glaube ich, eh nur der Teaser-Trailer. Morgen kommt der richtige Trailer raus. Da machen wir auch direkt sagen wir mal eine Trailer-Reaction oder ein Meinungsvideo dazu. Ah, hier ist es.
第一声悲鸣响彻大地之时，没有人真正重视过，直至婴儿啼哭。
Sieht sehr, also das hier sieht sehr aus wie Corrupted, aber das kann mir auch erinnern. Ich bin mir ziemlich sicher, das Game hat nichts zu tun mit Punching und Raven storytechnisch.
想断绝，苍白的祈祷与无奈的呐喊。
Hetero-Beings, aber laut Rexland ist das, so wie es aussieht, hier etwas, was noch keine Übersetzung hat.
化作吸引异种的无解之引。
Also das sieht alles sehr von dieser... Okay, nein, das ist nicht Punishing Graven. Es hat nichts mit Punishing Graven zu tun, weil im Punishing Graven gab es keine Drachen.
阴霾，可无人知晓，阴霾之下，并非燎原的希望，而是更加摇摇欲坠的明日。一种
Interesting. Corrosion Terminal. Also die Hetero Beings ist ja von Punishing Graven, aber Corrosion Terminal hat auch sehr viel mit dem Punishing Virus zu tun.
危机、黑市、能源、兴盛、
Wiederbelebung.
残霞、异能、进化，构成了如今的明朝生态。他们立于满目疮痍的荒原之上，一次又一次重铸破碎的未来。
Also die sehen nicht aus wie Konstrukte vom Design her, sehen eher mehr aus wie richtige Menschen. Okay, mich interessiert, was das für eine Story habt. Das ist definitiv eine komplett neue Story in einer komplett neuen Welt. Interessant. Interessant. Die Musik ist nicht schlecht. Aber sonst, Ah, hier ist die offizielle Website. Mal sehen, ob wir reinkommen. Okay, das ist nur die chinesische Website zurzeit im Moment. Was schreibt Rexland? Übrigens, danke an Rexland, dass er eine Übersetzung gemacht hat. Vielen Dank. Geiler Comment. Okay, ist die Seite geladen? Okay, es ist alles noch in Chinesisch und laut Chaotic, jemand, der sehr viel Kontakte hat. Interesting. Kann das Bild hier rum... Page 1, aber es gibt hier keine weitere Page. Ah doch, es gibt weitere. Ich kann runterscrollen. Wallpaper. Next. Comic. Kommt wohl noch, okay. Interessant, das sieht aus wie ein Charakter. Game Image Display. Nee, das kann nicht vom Game sein. Unmöglich. Die Concept Arts sehen sehr... das sieht sehr nach Gameplay aus. Wie sieht ihr das? Ich finde, es sieht aus wie Gameplay. Also wie Gameplay-Image aus. Interesting. Also es gibt nichts wirklich viel irgendwie, was man sagen kann über das Spiel. Wir wissen nur, es ist von Kuro Games und es ist und dass morgen einige neue News dazu kommen. Ich check mal Chaotic, weil ich weiß, der hat was geschrieben in seinen bei sich in seinen Community Tab. PV Tomorrow. Ich werde das Video jetzt nicht anschauen. I have people asked about the global website why there's only CN. However, if anything, the release of NCMPM shows that they are planning release for both. Before Saturday, we should see the PAV. Within ways is coming. Okay, das heißt, bevor Saturday, wir sehen sie morgen. Morgen habe ich frei, da können wir sie anschauen. Aber ich check mal den Twitter von Wuthering Race. Tue ich den eigentlich schon folgen? Gibt's schon einen Channel? Also gibt's schon einen YouTube-Channel dafür? Ja, es gibt Following. Okay, hier haben sie, so wie es aussieht, einen detaillierten Trailer rausgehauen. Checken wir mal. Haben die einen YouTube-Channel? Nee, sie haben keinen YouTube-Channel. Interessant. Okay. Checken wir mal, ob es Wofür Embrace einen YouTube-Channel hat. Okay, nee, sie haben wohl aus wie keinen Channel gemacht. Interesting. Okay, dann schauen wir uns mal den Trailer hier an. Also wir können den Trailer nicht anschauen drüben auf der Website, aber wir können ihn uns hier mal anschauen. Checken wir uns mal den Trailer ab. Es sieht sehr nach mehr CG aus, also CG-Cutscene. Ein Gott, der durch ein Seufzen die Welt zerstört hat, oder was genau? Sigh bedeutet Seufzen im Englischen, deswegen interesting. Was ist das? Ist das irgendwie sowas wie ähnliches wie bei unseren Konstrukten, so ein Invert-Device? Und da steht drauf Huang. Warte mal, gehen wir ein bisschen zurück. Huang, warte. Und dann, wenn sie das Schwert öffnet, kommt hier Eis. Interesting. Ist das ihre Fähigkeit? Huang Long. Warte mal, ich kann nicht Chinesisch. Googelt Ölübersetzer. Wer steht da? Huanglong. Es ist hundertprozentig Chinesisch. Huanglong. Huanglong in Deutsch. Okay, also das heißt, es gibt keine Übersetzung. Okay, das heißt, es ist ein Name. Es kann gut sein, dass es ein Name ist von irgendeiner Firma oder irgendwas anderem. Was? Warte mal. 27.05. Das ist gleich in ein paar Stunden. Warte. Das muss ich sehen. Was sieht sie da? Das ist der Mond. Und steht irgendjemand. Interesting. Also der Trailer verratet nichts an der Story. Also zeigt nur ein bisschen etwas von der Welt und vom Lore. Interessant. Also das, was ich jetzt vom Lore kapiere, ist, dass die Welt zerstört wurde nur mit einem Seufzen. Was soll, sie wurde in ein paar Sekunden, könnte man sagen, zerstört. Interesting. Okay, das ist definitiv sehr interessant. Ich bin gespannt, was der morgen sagt. Nun dann, Leute, ich bin dann, glaube ich, raus fürs Erste. Und ja, ich werde dann morgen wahrscheinlich ein Video